Well, there's her smile, but we can go into that later. There's several things going on here. Part of it is it's a tour de force of integration of knowledge. In the Mona Lisa, we have the depth perception going on with this landscape. The landscape, it gets smaller as it recedes back, and we have bridges and paths and rivers and mountains and stuff is receding back off of her. We have the humanity coming forwards and in proportion much larger than the landscape. So it's sending a message. It's one of the things it's doing, is sending a message that humanity is front and center, and that the landscape is, naturism is the background. It's the backdrop, and it diminishes. It's in the background there. We have a mastery of lighting. So we have her face lit. Her face is lit from above. It comes down. It's casting shadows. We have the shadow from her nose coming down. We have the shadow wrapping around her throat. We have the lighting on her chest and her hands. So he's integrating this concept of lighting. Then we have the proportions of the entire figure. It's a mastery of the proportions of the figure. We have it's an individual portrait. So that's a little bit of that theme of the style of Botticelli being an individual in his style. Well, we have here Da Vinci taking an individual real person and putting them front and center. So it's not every woman, it's an individual that's fully realized. There's tremendous detail. And and Da Vinci's taking this breadth of scope and knowledge of all these elements and putting them together into a very, very seamless, natural-looking package. And if we've seen portraits in the Middle Ages or portraits before, there's a very wooden quality to them. There's a very unnatural quality. And we're so used to seeing the Mona Lisa, it's like, well, yeah, that's just who she is, and we know it. But if we were seeing her for the first time, it would have been absolutely startling to see the naturalism, that it looks real. So it's solving some big questions about humanity. What role does humanity play in nature? And he's making the judgment. It's conquering nature. It's out in front. It's what matters. I've had the pleasure of seeing the Mona Lisa up close, privately, and I thought it was a cliche about the smile and the lips until I got to see the painting in real life up close. And every single plane of the mouth is broken down in these tiny little prisms of very subtle color. And he has gone over the mouth, and there must be 1,000 slight planes. So he's broken down the bottom lip into all these really tiny little planes that are moving and delicately going around the mouth. It's absolutely amazing. I've never seen a mouth that detailed before. And then we've got the attention to detail, but then you can step back from the painting and you can go rooms away, and the lips still maintain their structure and their life-like quality to it. And for artists, that's an amazing feat, that you have detail up close, but then they maintain and can keep their integrity when you go back a huge distance. So the painting is deservedly one of the world's masterpieces.